Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar, run through the weather warnings as we have got another thunderstorm warning issued for Sunday, as we are going to see some really quite lively conditions as we do see low pressure return. We have got some very warm sunshine around this weekend combined with some more unstable, colder air aloft, and it could allow some quite big storms to develop in places. It does look pretty widespread, especially across the Midlands and Northern England. It'll be impossible to pinpoint exactly where we'll see the most severe storms. We'll have a good go at seeing roughly where that heightened risk is. We'll have a look at the latest UKV and Arome runs to have a look at those storms over the next couple of days, and just generally look at the outlook for precipitation and temperature throughout the next 5 days, as it is, as said, generally turning a little bit more unsettled. Not washout conditions, but definitely still quite a bit of rain in places. And then we'll have a look at the longer range, where we are still seeing quite variable conditions in the short to medium term. There are some hints I've seen over the past couple of days of maybe some colder conditions, northerly winds, and a bit of mid-Atlantic ridge developing. Again, that is a solution, that is an outcome, but it's not guaranteed at this stage, and we are still seeing plenty of other runs showing more of a warmer flow moving in. So at the moment, I still do think it is pretty up in the air as we head into the early part of June. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link is in the description. Now if you start on the live radar, you can see it is a bit of a mixed bag today. Most areas are pretty dry, some warm sunshine, temperatures into the low 20s. We've got two areas of rain, one coming in off the North Sea, affecting northeast England, East Anglia here, mostly light to moderate rain. As we'll see from some of the models in a minute, there is the risk that we could see some showers sparking up within this through this evening, as we see the weather front hit this area of rain as well. Again, that combining together could produce some heavier bursts. And then as we look out to the west, we've got a weather front moving in. This is mostly going to bring light to moderate rain, maybe some heavier bursts in it, but when it clears overnight tonight into Sunday morning, that is where we could bring in that thunderstorm risk through Sunday afternoon. We're going to see cooler air, more unstable air, but still warm sunshine, and that temperature contrast from the surface to those higher levels in the atmosphere, that could allow for some quite big convection through the afternoon. Now, if you do put on the temperatures at the moment, you'll be able to see it isn't too bad. Where we are between the two areas of rain, it's pretty warm, temperatures into the low 20s. But out to the west, under the rain and cloud, more like in the mid-teens or low teens, and the same can be said for these North Sea coasts. Again, it's not unusual for late spring into early summer to see cooler conditions down the east coast, and that's all due to the fact that the sea surface temperatures across the North Sea still have a lag effect, so are actually still relatively cool. They only really get up to their peak temperature, the sea surface temperatures, by late summer into early autumn. So it does mean if we do see an easterly flow, it will always mean those east coasts are slightly cooler than normal. Now, if we do have a look at the weather warnings, you can see we've got a large thunderstorm warning issued for tomorrow for about 8 hours from midday until 8 p.m. Slow moving, heavy showers and thunderstorms may cause flooding and disruption. Interesting there, slow moving. Not a lot of the storms we've had recently have been terribly slow moving, but have been in places. But a lot of the storm systems we've seen in recent weeks have been quite large areas of storms, and they've moved through quite quickly. These look like really quite organic pop-up storms where it won't affect everyone, but where it does occur, it could last for a good few hours and be very slow moving. You can see it's for most of the Midlands into East Anglia up through much of Northern England. If you do look at the impact matrix, it's medium impact and very low likelihood. Again, the low likelihood there is due to the fact that it is convective pop-up storms, so there is a chance you're in this warning zone and you see absolutely nothing and see a bit of convection, maybe an anvil in the distance, but really nothing too major where you are. So it is going to be very touch and go where exactly we see the storms, but it's in this area there is that heightened risk. Now, if you go over to the latest UKV as we head through this afternoon, you see that rain in the east and that rain in the west slowly moving further inland, and you can see that precipitation rate could pick up overnight tonight as those two areas do combine. But really, as we head into Sunday morning, that rain does start to clear, and lingers a little bit across northern England, but then we see, even into the mid-morning period, heavy showers and storms breaking out. Here, initially, actually to the south of the warning zone, and you can see it does spread into the warning zone through the afternoon, and you see a pretty widespread event here through much of Sunday afternoon, lingering into the evening before slowly clearing as soon as that sun does set. As we head into Monday, still a few showers around in the morning, and then again another day of convection during the afternoon. But you can see the showers aren't too heavy. Could still be lively in places, maybe east and northern Scotland, maybe a few across southern England, but for most they are lighter and more sparse. As we head into Tuesday, another area of rain trying to move up from the southwest, and it is reasonably successful during Tuesday. Again, it's not going to bring anything too severe, but some light to moderate pulses of rain there, and maybe again a few heavy showers behind it. As we head into Wednesday, more rain in places. Again, there will be drier conditions, but plenty of areas seeing heavy showers and storms. From the looks of this, there could be another warning issued, maybe for Northern Ireland here, into Scotland as well, as there does look a few lively little showers here. But still, 4 or 5 days away, so you've still got a good period of time for this to change. And then you can see us heading into Thursday. So you can see it is reasonably unsettled over the next 5 days or so. Not absolute washout conditions, but not particularly bone dry either. So if you have got outdoor plans, it is going to be touch and go whether you see rain or no rain. You could see some stunning sunshine, but then you could absolutely be smashed by a big thunderstorm. So it is going to be one of those where you just got to keep a very close eye on the live radar and look at those weather warnings, as the weather warning doesn't guarantee you'll see thunderstorms and showers. Neither does being out of the weather warning guarantee you'll not see them, but it does give that heightened risk if you are within that area. If you do have a look at the mixed level cape, this gives us a good indication of where the highest amount of energy will be, and you can see as we head into Sunday there is quite a lot of energy across parts of the Midlands into Eastern England there. Nothing too ridiculous, and that's why we are really only looking at pop-up storms, so sort of multi-celled areas. It's a possibility that could happen, you never know with thunderstorms, but from the looks of these cape levels they are moderate amounts, so it doesn't look like it's going to be absolutely ridiculous, but it does look fairly widespread and regardless still fairly lively. And you can see there are moderate areas of cape around through the week, but nothing too bad. If you do look at the max temperatures, you can see through this afternoon where we do avoid those showers and rain in the west, being into the low 20s, maybe 22 degrees at best. Into tomorrow, behind that weather front, we are bringing cooler air in, but you can still see in the east where we avoid the heaviest showers, storms and areas of rain, could be 20 degrees, but most areas back into the teens. As we head into Monday, again, there will be rain around, so it will mean the temperatures are not particularly warm, but still maybe mid to high teens. So it's still getting towards average, maybe for some still below average, but not too crazy. Into Tuesday, similar story, maybe again 16 to 18 degrees, maybe a 20 or 21 somewhere, but most again back into the teens. And finally into Wednesday, a similar story, back into the mid to high teens, again hovering around average. Temperatures would be higher if we didn't see rain, didn't see cloud, didn't see storms, but because of those storms and showers around, it will never really allow the temperatures at the surface to really build, and that's why we're just kind of hovering around average for the next 5 days or so. Now, if you go over to the Rome run and just have a look at that thunderstorm risk over the next 36 hours or so, you see the showers around through this evening. They could liven up maybe in places through this evening. Again, there could be a few heavier pulses here or there, but not expecting anything too major through Saturday. As we head into Sunday, though, that weather front clears northwards, and then around the mid-morning period, we start to see those cape levels increase. We see these pinks and purples, and we start to see those heavy showers and storms start to take off. And again, they look really quite lively in places, especially in that warning zone. Some of these storms are clumping together here, so again, you can't rule out multi-celled areas that could bring larger areas of storms, more complex storms, which again could lead to heavier rain, hail, lightning, again even the risk of some rotation within clouds. Again, you can't ever rule that out this time of year. But regardless, still some places will miss out. The southeast perhaps, maybe across parts of Wales, doesn't look too bad here, but as I said, if you hit these storms, yeah, it could be really quite horrendous for a time. And then as we head towards sundown, towards sunset, we do start to see those showers reduce in intensity around that 5-6 p.m. period before going really to nothing around sunset at around 8 or 9 p.m. Now, do have a look at the longer range just to keep on top of what we're going to be seeing over the course of the next few weeks. Again, you see the low pressure moving in at the moment, and that's going to give our storm activity through tomorrow and showers into Monday and Tuesday. Again, it's not bombarding of low pressure, and that's why we're not seeing big walls of rain, but we are seeing plenty of smaller areas of rain and showers because it is generally low pressure dominated. As we head into early June, we do start to see high pressure building over the top of us. Now, this is where some of the runs have brought in northeasterly winds or northerly winds. Here, yes, the wind is coming in from the North Sea, so it will be chillier along those east coasts. But for most, it actually doesn't look too bad here out towards 384 hours. And actually, towards the end of the run, we do see a bit of a low towards the Bay of Biscay, warmer southeasterly or easterly winds, and you see it's above average temperatures. Again, could bring in the risk of further thunderstorms. So actually, that sort of idea of northerly flow, which a lot of the runs had been hinting at over the past few days, doesn't look likely here from the GFS at all, really. So we'll have to wait and see. But today's GFS 6 o'clock run, not showing it at all. If you do compare to the GM out towards day 10, again, low pressure coming in off the Atlantic, high pressure eventually building in, and here you can see that northerly or northeasterly wind idea with much fresher air, and you see a lot more blues pushing in here. And this is all due to the fact that that high pressure extends northwards instead of over the top of us, allowing low pressure to sink towards Scandinavia, and again, eventually allow those northerly winds to push in. Now, of course, it's early June. It's not actually going to be that cold, but you see the temperatures here maybe in the mid to low teens, which is not ideal. We kind of want it in the high teens or low 20s. So a good 5, maybe even as high as 10 degrees below average in places. And again, that's really where we see rain and cloud developing. But for the time being, we'll have to wait and see, because the GFS is not really showing it today all too much. Compared to the ECMWF, again, low pressure pushing in over the next couple of days, giving us our showers and storms, and eventually as we head towards day 10, this is where we meant to see that northerly wind, and we don't see much at all. The low pressure instead is towards Iceland. It's pushing cooler air into the North Atlantic, which could energise the jet stream, but actually here, we're under above average air, well above average air by a good 5 degrees or so, with a 10-degree isotherm pushed in, and actually, it would be fairly warm. If we look at the surface temperatures, especially in the south, up towards the 20-degree range, maybe even higher than that, because of this warm wedge of air. So you can see there is a lot of contrast, a lot of up and downs. Anyone saying it's definitely going to be cold with northerly winds, or saying it's definitely going to be warm, definitely going to be dry, you can see even the runs here around that day 7 to day 10 time frame are disagreeing quite a bit, and that's why we can't really pinpoint it at this stage. Now, to finish by looking at the latest ensembles, you can see this sort of uncertainty reflected over the next week or so. Lots of up and down, but actually quite a lot of the ensemble members are a degree or two below average. Again, not cold, but under showers it might feel a little bit chillier, and we're unlikely to see those temperatures getting much above the 21 or 22 degree range. You can see though into the longer term, into early June, yes, there are some runs a little bit chillier, but most are actually back towards average, if not above average. So that idea of a cold northerly wind, we may see something like that, but at the moment we're not seeing anything too remarkable and too far away from average. If we look at the 2-meter temperatures, again, it's not going to be amazingly warm, but temperatures still in the mid to high teens, which isn't, again, too bad this time of year if you see a bit of sunshine, and increasing into the longer term. And if we finish by looking at the latest ECMWF, again, you see fairly similar over the next week or so. Lots of up and down as we head towards the day 10 period into early June, returning towards average, maybe slightly above average once again. Precipitation fairly high in the medium term, maybe dropping a little bit in the longer term, but I think that's just due to the uncertainty. So we'll just have to wait and see exactly how it does play out over the course of the next few days and the next couple of weeks. But for the time being, it doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look great either. We've got to see lots of showers, lots of storms, especially over the next 24 hours. But I do think we will see plenty of sunshine in places where we will see those temperatures rise above average once again. At least it's not going to be as horrible as earlier this week, where we saw sort of 48 hours to 72 hours of constant rain in places. Luckily, it's not going to be that bad, but it's not going to be amazing either. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.